Hello, my name is Justin Gould. I studied forensic science at what was then the University of Glamorgan, has now since become the University of South Wales. I graduated in 2002 with an honours degree in forensic science, and currently my job role at Foster+Freeman is Research and Development Applications Specialist. During my time studying at University of Glamorgan, it was quite clear that really in forensic science back then there were two roles that I could go on into. One of those roles would have been working for the police. Typically you'd be looking at maybe a scenes of crime officer. And then the other role would have been working in a forensic laboratory and going to court as an expert in the sort of chosen field that you were working in. My first forensic job was working at the Forensic Science Service as a DNA analyst. Now, when I applied for that job, I didn't realise I was actually applying for the Forensic Science Service. The application process was fairly secretive. It was via an agency, and I was applying on the pretense that it would give me some good a good backing for moving into forensics. And when I applied and got the interview for this position, it actually turned out it was the Forensic Science Service. After that, I moved to LGC, which then became LGC Forensics, and I moved into drugs of abuse. And I took up a trainee court reporting officer position there, and I spent my time specialising in drugs for the next about 4.5 years at LGC. That was based in London. And then after about 4.5 years there at LGC, I moved to another forensic service provider called Key Forensic Services, based up in Coventry, and took on the position of forensic reporting manager. And again, similar to my position at LGC, I was a court reporting officer in drugs, also scene going, and also managing the drugs intelligence side of things. After Key Forensic Services, I then moved on to Foster+Freeman, where I've been for almost 7 years. Okay, so I was working at Key Forensic Services, where I'd been for best part of 5 years as a court reporting scientist. But I was looking for doing something a little bit different, but still using my forensic expertise. And I saw a job posting in New Scientist magazine. I ummed and erred about applying for the job because I really enjoyed doing court reporting, but at the same time I was looking for something new. And I think I applied for that job probably about 2 minutes to midnight, which was the closing day for that position, and got an interview. I had to sort of take a extended lunch break from my current role at Key Forensics to take the short drive to Foster+Freeman. And I had my interview with Bob Dartnell, who's currently CEO, and Doug Foster and Bob Freeman were both in my interview, and then had a second interview, and the rest is history, they say. Okay, so having worked in the forensic industry for best part of 10 years, and having worked up from the position of assistant to court reporting and lead scientist at scenes, probably one of the sort of most useful experience you can obtain is just trying to get some laboratory experience as early in as you can. That's quite favourable to employers to see that you've worked in some sort of industry where you've gained some experience working in a sort of working laboratory. It doesn't necessarily need to be in forensics, but preferably in one of the sort of core disciplines that forensics uses, so like biology or chemistry, things like that.